Equilibrium is an incentive-based system of cooperation that operates in recognition of universal law, which states that one must never initiate aggression and physically violate another's consent for any reason. Operation of this system can be simplified down to two key principles: the upholding of universal law and the ability to purchase residual income accounts. If we uphold universal law and allow people to move up through and exit the system with the right to purchase residual income accounts, we should be able to reach harmony in equilibrium. The system should essentially self-regulate if we uphold these simple principles. Universal law states that one must never initiate aggression and physically violate another's consent for any reason. This is the universal law of civility and is the foundational principle of civilization. All emotion and all speech are acceptable and tolerable. Nothing justifies the initiation of aggression and physical violation of another's consent. As the foundational principle of the system, universal law, that we must never initiate aggression and physically violate another's consent for any reason, is not in question in this system. What can be up for debate are the consequences for violating universal law, and those consequences might vary depending on where or when you are. I believe these things should be worked out regionally through voting sequences, so people can live in the places that match their beliefs. I expect to live in a place that provides eye for an eye consequences for all initiation of aggression and physical violations of consent. Residual income accounts are a multi-purpose concept that can provide stability to every individual. In a competition-based system as we see presently, things like the stock market provide an unfair advantage to some who have access to it, but not all have access to it. Our lifeline to this world can become mysterious and confusing, leaving many of us on our own to stress and wonder about things like jobs and retirement. Many of us have no way to retire. We are in a system that is at war with us, leaving us on our own, judging us by our labor while not providing us with access to jobs. It is a system that does not have our back, does not have a plan for a stable future for us, and in fact, it holds all kinds of malicious intent towards us. It wants to make us irrelevant with new technology, and then it wants us to be left outside the system to suffer and beg. When humanity moves past all that and develops a system that is mature and is designed to take care of everyone, then simply as a matter of changing perceptions and ideas, we will see that there are more than enough resources for everyone. Our neighborhoods are resource and production deserts. Our time is claimed, and we are forced to remain idle instead of being productive when and how we would otherwise choose. We could be participating in the local production of excess surplus as a standard. This excess surplus can be turned into nearby collection and distribution centers for credit. This can be used to create a resource-backed currency. Our currency is ultimately backed by our energy and labor anyway. In a system where all wealth is not siphoned immediately away, we can be given more credit for our contributions. In a system where we are all on the same side working towards the same goals, we can each make our contribution on our time and turn that into collection centers for credit. The chase for fake value fiat currency will come to an end, and you will get the gruel paste. That is our primary and only required contribution, from which you can extract all taxation and all rent. With intentional education, advancements in technology and provision of resources like miniaturized industrial work from home kits, provided by the central system or created by individuals or communities, we can change what work is in the future and make it work for us just as much as we work for it, and make our work a service in our lives. We can integrate work into our local environment and thereby reduce its impact over our lives. Education and work can become localized and constant in the environment, giving us more time to do other things compared to a system that removes those things from our environment and makes us waste time and energy chasing after them. If immediate climate change was real, which it isn't, then power brokers who are trying to use that to have special power need instead to be held accountable for their zoning laws. If climate change was real, then the number one culprit in its propagation is the fact that due to zoning laws, We are told that we cannot have useful resources in our local environment, such as small distribution centers, restaurants, or stores within our neighborhoods. We should have more work from home and work from community opportunities. If climate change was real, then zoning laws are the cause. So automation will take the jobs. In time, automation and new machinery could take many jobs. We need to develop a system that frees human consciousness from the endless turmoil of the ever-changing job market. The world is constantly changing. These companies and these jobs come and go. We should not be tied to the downfall of any particular company or industry. Rather, we should move into the future collectively and securely. A new non-competition system can provide stability by providing each of us with access to the resources we produce collectively. There is more than enough to go around. It is not fiat currency that is keeping us all alive here. It is access to God's gift. True value does not come from the production of fiat. True value comes from the energy we use working the natural resources that God has provided us. It is in our integration and utilization of the resources provided in the environment that can keep us alive, like food, water, energy, and shelter. The ability or the right to access these resources comes from measurements made within the system. In a fiat-based system, we are being measured according to how much money we have, no matter how we got it. Whether or not we can access resources is dependent upon the fiat currency we possess. Most of us get fiat currency by working at jobs, you know the drill. And what a drill it has become. How exhausting it is to live in this post-World War II human-control drama civilization. The endless commands, the endless demands, as they coerce and maneuver you into your own demise. A slow demise through systemic warfare. We're experiencing it now with inflation and the endless manipulation of the system to the benefit of them, whoever they are, and to the detriment of the masses. Endless scams and sales as they isolate you in a field of endless labor that they devalue while simultaneously raising the cost of everything. We are in a system that permits greed-based warfare against the working population. While you are at work, teams of scam artists are working together to scam your money from you. And if they succeed, that money is gone. The system that we are in does not make you whole. They failed at their job and allowed you to be scammed, yet they will not make you whole. They can't afford it, apparently. There is plenty to eat, and yet you may not eat it. They may not give to you, nor may they allow you to have access to the plenty which is right before you. As the throwback system, we are being subjected to advances its goals to automate things so it can kick us out of the system. We need to advance the concepts that will allow humanity to disconnect from the fake value fiat currency system that is effectively enslaving us. To do this, we need to intentionally design a system to take care of everyone and to provide access to resources for everyone under all circumstances. Let's consider the concept of the residual income account within the exergonic economic model and how that can be used to solve for many problems. By being able to purchase successively higher residual income account levels, people will have a personal goal that they can work on throughout their lives that guarantees their right to higher access levels. These successively higher access levels can be used to purchase larger and larger room accounts, which grants access to the right to control larger square footage of residential property. Residual income accounts can be used to retire at a comfortable level, and they can be used to check in and out of the system at one's discretion. We are not kicked out of the system if we stop working. As automation takes our jobs, we will be covered by our residual income. Then instead of jobs, we can complete tasks as they become available. We are all employed by the central system and can complete tasks as they become available. Some tasks may look like ongoing jobs, while other tasks may come and go. We might get on waiting lists, in some cases, to complete tasks just so we can earn enough credit to purchase the next residual income level. Having the right to purchase residual income accounts will grant us access to resources through our residual income. Residual income would be renewed monthly per our residual income level per account. And so in this way, as each is working independently for the system by completing tasks for the system, we no longer have to have a relationship with one another over fiat currency. And so presently, on the one hand, while you are hard at work, a team of scam artists is hard at work trying to work together to steal your money. They can get away with this, and that money will not be restored. You can see the fruit, but you may not eat it. We're sorry. There's nothing we can do. On the other hand, in a system based upon access levels determined by one's earned residual income account level, they will always be restored each month according to their residual income account level. These are intentional access accounts. We are intentionally giving people access to resources through residual income levels in recognition of automation and advancing technology and the ever-changing job market. In recognition of the creation of a system that is intentionally allowing access to resources for everyone, our earned residual income level will give us access to resources in a non-competition system despite the changes in the world. So they can steal your fiat currency and get away with it. But in a non-competition system of collaboration, they cannot steal your agreed-upon access levels. To do so, they would have to fully steal your identity, a situation that can easily be resolved at your local residual income certification center. Fiat currency only has value in the faith that people have in it. It is not backed by anything other than the agreement with each other that we are taking this contractual agreement seriously. We will collectively uphold the agreements made through fiat backed by law. In the same way, in a different system, another civilization can uphold the agreement that the credit that they receive from their residual income account legally grants them access to those resources. We can take the credit we receive, and the access levels that come along with our residual income level, as seriously as they take the contractual agreements made using fiat currency. And so one of the most serious matters for us can still be our personal wealth, and we can still move up and achieve more, and have more than others as a result. Subtle systemic changes would include the inability to mess with another's survival or living conditions and so on. We may add to, but not detract from the experience of another. The system is the intermediary, and we no longer have to go through one another for our survival. At any point, we can pick up from wherever we are and independently start contributing to the system by completing official tasks, which can be provided in an official online catalog of available tasks. This system can start from scratch, or any individual can start from scratch within the system, simply by turning in excess resources to a nearby collection and distribution center for credit. Turning in excess resources to a nearby collection and distribution center is the primary task within the system, although there would be plenty of different ways to earn credit. We can use some of that credit to purchase successively higher residual income levels. We would have to level up each account one level at a time by purchasing each level in succession. For the sake of convenience and to reduce unnecessary traffic, we would likely have the ability to upgrade our residual income accounts online. When we purchase a higher residual income level, we officially have access to a higher access level. An individual in this system would likely take this as seriously as any other official business, and so this can be reflected in the system. Digital or physical certificates can be used to certify and officially associate a person to a residual income account. This certification can come in the form of one's identity officially being associated with a residual income account. Digitally, the association can be like a cryptocurrency wallet address, but simplified and easier to use, perhaps with hand-scan biometrics. If someone wanted a physical copy of their earned residual income level, they could get something that looks like a driver's license and currency all in one. An official certificate reflecting one's earned residual income level so that they have physical proof and documentation. Why? Who knows? In case the grid goes down. There should always be manual processes for all automatic processes and physical processes for all electronic processes. And that is where your trusty old Residual Income Certification Center comes in. future, they realized that fiat currency was causing problems and ultimately fake, so they allowed people to retain the value they achieved in the former system by using their fiat to purchase fixed-value resource-backed credit, which could then be used to purchase successively higher residual income accounts. This was to create a more casual workforce that allowed people to remain stable as the conditions of the world changed over time. Banks were no longer needed in the same way and were converted into local residual income certification centers, where citizens could both store a confirmation of their credit amount if desired, and a place where they can get a physical copy of their residual income account levels through official certification. The currency can be physical or digital. Where is a person's crypto wallet? It's on a server somewhere. Supposedly, this agreed-upon number on a server somewhere would grant someone access to actual tangible resources if they were to spend it. The concepts here are operating in much the same way. The credit is backed by our labor, our energy, and by tangible resources that we produce in excess surplus. We then purchase access levels that grant access to resources under the agreement upheld collectively that permits access through the credit provided by one's residual income account.